Hey there, it's Darlene. I hope you're doing well. Oh my goodness. So when I saw this come across my emails, $1,000 to $2,000 per month doing nothing. Okay. Doing nothing, doing nothing, doing nothing. What could that be? Who is that lazy person that wants to do nothing? Okay. I was betting on Forex. And then as soon as he said it can't be done from the United States, it's like ding, 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 because prop firms aren't allowed in the United States anymore. So, so yeah, he's trotting out yet. He's doing another Forex thing. He's saying it's one thing, I'm saying it's another. But he is taking a different spin on it this time, I'll tell you. So he started putting out warnings on Monday that he was going to be dropping this on Friday. And yes, he did. And since he couldn't screw over people in the United States, he did it at 6 p.m. GMT, Greenwich Mean Time. So that's UK. So good time for UK and the Europeans. So then we look at this video. Oh my. It is just so full packed of the usual Jono BS. I swear he uses the exact same format every time. And he rolls out one of these every 12 to, 18 months, roundabout? But this time he's doing it a bit differently in that he's doing a beta invite. Yeah, right. Now, if I had a product and I wanted beta testers, I would be giving them that product to try. I wouldn't be charging them money for it. Don't you think? But now, see, he used to get his beta testers from his Ministry of Freedom Facebook group. And what I'm wondering is, I wonder if that Facebook group is dwindling. So now he's relying on his mailing lists to get this out as, a startup maybe. He says that he'll be launching it in January, which means, late December basically, which kind of makes sense because I was surprised to see him do this early in the year. Usually he does launch in December with a lot of, fanfare coming into it. So, for those of you that have been around for this song and dance before, he's going to use a lot of the same terms while he tap dances furiously, trying not to say that it's going to be, Forex and it's going to be using prop firms. He constantly calls prop firms company money, and that we're going to be using company money, which is like highly illegal in the US and other places too. But yeah, he's going to use a legal loophole, and we're going to be using company money and blah 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 blah. It's going to cost you, and it's going to cost you $1,600. That comes out much later, so that's going to be the prop firm fee. So for those of you that are new to the channel and aren't aware of this, in Forex, you can put your own money in and you can trade it and win or lose, whatever. However, you can also buy what's called a prop firm challenge. These firms, they have different size of challenge, like 25,000, 50K, 100K account, and you have to be able to trade it for in X amount of time and increase it in X amount of time to win the challenge, and then you will be able to trade that full amount of money and you'll be able to reap the benefits from it, or crash it and lose the account and you lose your money. Not the 25,000 though, just the amount that you paid for the challenge. And he said something about $1,600 here and up, it sounded like. But he starts this video off with the same load of crap that he always does. The only thing that I'm very surprised at is that he's not coming out of retirement this time. He's finally put that one to rest. Oh, another reason why I think that he's doing this beta launch. Did anybody notice how he was posting about how he was in the hospital? I was looking up the healthcare system of Indonesia. Well, they have basic healthcare where you can get rushed into the hospital, but that's for everybody. And apparently most expats there will pay more to be in a private facility that's not government run. And for that, you need to pay for health insurance, okay? So he's just in the hospital, and all of a sudden he's just flying out with all of these low ticket offers, and then all of a sudden now he's pushing this. I'm thinking that someone might be running low on money, but this is just a guess, of course. But listen to this, and we can make fun of it as we go along.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Jono here, and the time has finally come. I know you've been waiting for this for a while. So, as you probably guessed, this is a recorded video because the time difference between myself here in Bali and Europe is a bit unfeasible for me to be awake at the time when most of you guys are going to be awake. So, in this video, I want to talk to you about a very exciting done-for-you passive income system that I've been testing extensively this year. Now, unfortunately, this is only available for non-US members only, okay? It's only available for people outside of the US. Now, I am working on a solution for that. So if you are from the US, stay tuned. You can watch the presentation anyway to see what this is all about.
And that is complete bullshit, because unless he can change US regulations, no prop firm can do business in the United States. He cannot change anything about that. So I don't know why he asks, tells people they can stay, except to get to know his charming presence. Because as they say, any minute, the longer they spend with you, the more they begin to know, like, and trust you. So that's the whole reason for that. But there is no way that anybody in the United States can get a hold of, they can get a hold of this, but they won't be able to do anything with it. It's a complete waste of money. Because in the States, this would be classed as an unregistered investment scheme and probably even wire fraud. So it's just no. So he markets it from Bali and sells it into Europe, Australia, Canada, and calls it a beta test. It's the same damn playbook as the Infinity system in Aurora.
And now I want to tell you about and give you early exclusive access to a new program that I've created that I plan to launch in January 2026. Now, like I just said, it's a complete done-for-you solution that requires zero work. Yes, absolutely zero work on your behalf, as it's managed completely 100% by my team. Now, it also will generate a minimum of $1,000 per month for you completely passively. Now, like I said, I plan to launch this publicly in January, but right now I'm actually looking for 20 beta testers to battle test our new system and our software and onboarding process before I actually officially reveal this to the public in January. So in return, you will get a special deal which will actually save you a ton of money long term. So what is it? Well, the best way I can describe this is a breakthrough in make money online programs or financial programs, because it basically allows anyone, even complete technophobe newbies, to generate money or generate an additional $1,000 minimum per month completely passively. Now, I've never seen or heard of anything like this before, let alone get to create it myself. So it's something that I'm very proud about and I'm very excited about. So what is it? Well, before I get into it, I just want to give you some important background, right? So you see, I've been trying to help people make money online for the past 7 years. And most of the time, it's felt like banging my head against a brick wall. Ministry of Freedom, or MOF, my flagship product, shows and teaches people step by step to follow my exact footprints to go from $0 completely broke to well over $1 million with affiliate marketing. Now, this is a program that I stand behind 1,000% because it's all the things that I personally did and I continue to do right now with affiliate marketing. So I know that it works. It's a truly timeless program and it's helped so many people. Just like Philip here, who started with me back in 2020, okay, and these are some of his early results, and Philip's actually gone on to make well over $20 million, as you can see, and this is one of his screenshots that I've got. So he's taken this to the extent of making millions, right? We've also got people like Dan here, who, this is another early screenshot of his from 2020 as well, where he made over $38,000 in a single month. And we've also got Ashley, who's making really good money as well, and he continues to make good money as well. But the point is, they all started off inside of Ministry of Freedom. And there's so many other results as well that I could show you, but I just don't want to waste too much of your time.
Okay, that just made no sense whatsoever. He just said he started off with a fairly true point. He did start off Ministry of Freedom, and it was what he was doing and was successful at, which is promoting those nasty little Warrior Plus and JV Zoo products. It doesn't matter what product he's promoting and reviewing, it's always saying how wonderful it is and why you should buy it. It's a promotion, not a review. And that's what he taught in Ministry of Freedom. And yes, those three guys were successful in Ministry of Freedom: Philip Johansson, Dan Kahn, and Ashley Perry. But that doesn't mean that what has that got to do with Forex? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Okay, so Jono did a good job in teaching launch jacking, but then Philip, when he showed that high income amount from Philip, that was strictly from Philip's own program, Seven Figure Accelerator. Dan Kahn, I have no idea when in his career that was taken. And Ashley Perry, well, he's been kissing up Jono's ass for like years and years and years, so God only knows. He's still with Jono. Not with him, but, doing the same thing. So he translates his initial success with Ministry of Freedom to everybody's success from then on, and the possible success of a Forex trading bot. Make it make sense.
So although it's an amazing feeling knowing that my system has helped so many, there's a few thousand members inside of MOF, and yet only a handful of people had real success stories. So why is this?
Well, that's a damn good question, because you know what? He marketed Ministry of Freedom as being easy, fast. Anybody could do it. 20 minutes a day and you're done. Oh, it was all the same platitudes that they're constantly doing. Mainly done for you because he had the funnel done in ClickFunnels. And it's always the same bullshit. But then when they aren't successful, oh, well, then it's their own fault. Or it was the fault of something else. But it's never the fault of him or his marketing. It's never Jono Armstrong's fault, is it?
Well, my conclusion is that most people just don't have the time, the commitment, the discipline, and the consistency to put the effort in to succeed, right? And often that's just because life gets in the way, and it can derail even the best intentions, which is really sad. But at the same time, it's none of those people's fault, and it's not your fault if you haven't succeeded with regular skill-based programs either. Does this mean that MOF was a failure? Well, no. The results you get are results of your own efforts that you put in. The results that you get out are a result of your own efforts, right? So saying that it doesn't work would be like school kids blaming school for not passing their exams, or a fat person blaming their gym equipment for not making them thin, right? But I did learn a lot from MOF. I learned that most people don't want to learn and master a new skill. Most people want success, but want it without the effort. And it's my job as a program creator to give people what they want. So the next thing that I did is in early 2022, I created Prometheus, which was an AI crypto bot that came pre-programmed with all the learning, so people didn't have to do any learning.
I also bought Prometheus as well as Ministry of Freedom. And again, this is a lie. He did not create an AI crypto bot. He told everybody he did in the advertising, but really it was only a training course on how to use BitsGap, which is a trading platform that uses their own bots, which isn't a bad system actually, but you needed a lot of money to invest in it to actually make it work, which of course he never told people up front. But again, that's all their fault that they didn't want to fully participate. No, it's because he oversold it. Hey, it takes no time or effort on your part. It's easy, it's fast, it's for sure. But it wasn't. And it also wasn't his bot. So again, this is a clear example of him just lying his ass off.
Now, I thought this would solve the issue, but once again, only a handful of the 2,000 plus members got results. Why did the others fail to get results? Well, it's because of another thing that most people are not willing to do, and that is risk their own money. Prometheus requires people to invest their own capital, and the AI bots leverage that capital. But most people are scared to invest in the first place. They're scared to risk any of their own capital.
Well, then why didn't he invest in that system and be living high off the hog on it now if it worked so bloody well? Why is he having to hawk products here again?
So now there's two problems. Firstly, people don't want to learn. And secondly, people don't want to take risks. So I went back to the drawing board in search of the perfect product or solution that would get people results without learning or risking. And it's an almost impossible task. But the search is over. So introducing Insignia. Now, Insignia tackles those two biggest issues head on. Firstly, there's no need to learn anything, as like Prometheus, we don't need to learn anything. With Prometheus, it used bots, but with Insignia, we plug into an expert, a human expert in the field, and let them do all of the work, making this completely hands-free. Now, secondly, and this is by far the biggest breakthrough, which is a loophole, okay? There's no need to invest or leverage or risk any of your own capital, as I've discovered a legal loophole that allows us to leverage the capital of investment companies instead. And this is the part that I'm most excited about. In fact, the only work that you need to do is open an account, which takes less than 10 minutes.
So this is the second time he's mentioned that the only work you're going to need to do is set up an account, or there would be no work for you to do. It's done for you. And in this next section, he's going to talk about how he's going to get someone else to be doing this for you. And all you're going to have to do is open this account at the prop firm. This is a deviation from what he's done with the Infinity system and Aurora. With those, the people were always told they'd have to do like 10 minutes, half an hour's worth of work per week to check it. Of course, it ended up being a whole lot more than that. And people were basically having to learn Forex. But they were never promised this kind of hands-off. They were never told that all they need to do is open an account, takes less than 10 minutes, and then that's it. No weekly maintenance, no nothing. So he is changing the script here. And in a few minutes, he's going to explain basically exactly how a prop firm works. Only he just doesn't really use those words, right? But he explains exactly how you pay $1,600, get a $25,000 prop firm challenge account, and how it works. And then he goes into this song and dance that he has a Forex expert that's going to be trading on your behalf. And this is a completely different story. And I'm of two minds of this one. But I'll let you listen to it first. Please subscribe.
Now, Insignia is a 100% done-for-you passive income system that generates passive income month after month without users lifting a finger. Now, as you can probably tell, this is something that I'm very excited about, as I know that everyone that joins will get results.
And this shows you just what kind of guy Jono Armstrong is. Because he's saying he's so excited about it because he knows that everyone who joins will get results. And I was about to call him out on unsubstantiated income claims when I realized, no, before that was when he said $1,000 a month. That's an unsubstantiated income claim. But this, he's saying everybody is going to get results. That's double speak. That's the same shit that Philip Johansson promised. Because you know what? If you lose all your money, that too is a result. Right? Results aren't necessarily good. So yeah, he can guarantee you're going to get a result of some kind.
So you're probably asking, well, how does it work? Firstly, okay, you might want to take notes. Firstly, we take advantage of a legal loophole that gives us access to $25,000 of capital. Now, this is company money, and we can use this, or we can play with this, right? The account, to secure this $25,000, it costs $1,600. So please make a note of that. Now, there are huge companies out there that will make funds available to traders and fund managers in exchange for a 30% profit split. The trader keeps 70% of their profit and the firm takes the remaining 30% in return for letting you use their funds. The account takes less than 10 minutes to register for, and the $25,000 company money is available instantly. But you're probably asking, or you're probably wondering, I'm not a trader, I'm not a hedge fund manager, how can I possibly get access to these funds? Well, here's the next bit, and this is point number 2. Once you've secured your $25,000 investment capital or company money, you simply send your account details to our expert fund manager. His name is Edward Goodman. Now, what Edward will then do is plug your information into his master account and copy over all of his own trades into your account, which he's trading on this account daily anyway. Now, a quick FYI. This isn't a real picture of Edward right here, as he wishes to remain anonymous. The real Edward worked for almost 20 years at Rocco's Capital Management in London, which is a huge hedge fund management firm. And he's helped to manage over $138 billion in assets. Now, Edward retired a few months ago and has since gone solo. He averages between 5 to 8% returns per month and is very risk averse and has a consistent 85 to 95% trade success rate. Now, below this video, you can find a link to his verified track record on MyFX book.
All right, here's where we're getting into murky territory here. He's about to show you some stuff in MyFX books, and it shows a bot. In fact, it shows what I can clearly see as a Martingale bot. So what he's saying is that this guy, Edward Goodman, let's just call him Edward. Yeah, okay, so Edward here, he's going to be the master trader who's got his bot running on one account, and he's going to be copy trading onto your accounts and whoever else's. Well, first of all, Edward Goodman does not exist. Also, Rocco's Capital Management does not exist in the UK Companies House Registry. Are we surprised? Of course not. He's the brother of Rich from the Infinity System, I swear. However, what he's saying about MyFX book profiles, what he's about to say too, okay, first of all, what he just said is complete bullshit. It does not show you what this guy's track record is. Absolutely not. Now, what it does do is track a bot that he does have running. Well, that's interesting. However, you don't know if it's on a real money account or a demo account. More than likely, it's on a demo account. Is it even the same bot that he's going to have running your account? You have no idea. Well, and I speak about this guy as if he exists, but the fact of the matter is if this is a copy trading thing, that there has to be someone in charge that does sort of know what they're doing at the very least. So normally my mind would run straight to, oh my God, has he got Jonas Lindgren helping him? But Jonas Lindgren isn't showing any kind of little blips on any kind of system I'm seeing out of him, out of his emails, about doing the Forex thing again. So, someone has to be doing something behind the scenes, though. So even though Edward Goodman, the name's fake and his background is fake, who's doing it? He's got to have help because Jono does not have the background, the wherewithal to do this, and he's a lazy fuck. He's not going to bother lifting a finger, and as I said, he doesn't have the knowledge to do it anyways. He's a marketer. And he doesn't use, he doesn't use this system. If this system worked so well and was so, for sure, why isn't he using it himself? He could have a million different accounts at a million different prop firms. Well, no, there's not a million different prop firms, but you know what I mean. And another problem is, which is huge, is the problem with copy trading. Do you really think prop firms want you copy trading on them? No. And I had a friend that was involved in a copy trading group that never thought that they would get caught. Now, this was some years ago for sure. completely different group outside of this one. This is when I was involved with the Axel Armani bunch. Anyways, and she got roped into somebody copy trading for her, and the prop firm caught on, and it shut them all down, all of them. And the prop firm could tell that it was a copy trade. And you have to keep in mind the unalterable rules that prop firms don't want to pay you. Okay? This is like a casino having to pay out money. They don't want to have to do it, okay? So it's not like they're going to blasely go, oh, wow, here's 20 or 30 people here coming in with all the same trades. It's going to be noticed. It has to be. But we shall see.
I'm actually going to hand you over to Edward himself. He put this video together for me, and this is basically going to show you his real account along with his verifiable account, which this is called MyFXBook. And there's actually a link down below this video which you can click on to go and verify MyFXBook yourself.
All right, dude, left-hand side, MyFXBook. Sorry, right-hand side, MyFXBook. Left-hand side, Real Broker account. Now, I'm going to show you two accounts. And first of all, how to verify them. So just bear with me because this is on the VPS. Hold on. All right, cool. So the first thing to note is the equity. How much is currently in the account, right? Because the equity is fluctuating, balance is just balance. Balance $6,020 on the account here. And that's $6,020. We can also see that this is a live account right at the top. So it's a real $5,000 account. We can see how much was deposited, $5,003. We can verify that if we come into the history tab. We move this all the way up, scroll to the top, and we can see $5,000 deposited back in March. The first trade was here. So we verified the equity, we verified the deposit. Let's verify the profit. To do the profit, right click, custom period, and entire history, and click OK. Here's all the history on this account. You can see all the blues, happy days, and profit right at the bottom, $1,017. Profit, $1,017.50. Very nicely done. It was recently updated 16 hours ago. It updates only when the markets are open and when there's activity on the trade account. So it will update pretty much every hour. If not at latest to every 12 hours. You can see the growth on the account. And if we scroll all the way to the bottom, some geeky stats over here. For this week, 8% growth. This month, 17% growth. This year, 20% growth. Having in mind, we only traded a full 1 month full trade history. We can see that it was started to trade on the 29th. So two trading days in September. We made 2% within that on the account. In October, we made 17% growth. We can see the numbers of trades taken in October, which resulted in that growth. So we finished at $1,000 net profit in October. And that's it, right? Super easy. We can have a look at the profitability, 95% win rate. And that's it, pretty much. You can click on the drawdown to see what that drawdown is. There is actually no drawdown on this. Fantastic. Profit. So you can have a look at the profit growth in terms of profit. Balance. This is usually a good one because you can see the deposits in green, withdrawals in red. And if we uncheck this, the equity is usually very nice to see. And main reason why equity is good to see, sometimes you have activity where the red line, the growth, is all the way up here, but the equity is down here. That basically means that your real dollar value is here. So you could be in $100 in negative drawdown from your original value here. So for example, Grid and Martingale systems, you will see a red line discrepancy between the red and the orange. In this example, they are very tightly knit. Let's go into the next example. I'm just going to pull out another account that's had a lot longer trade history. So this account has been going on for a number of months. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 months. It's generated 192% growth since then. Majority of the growth has come in October, September months. And there's main reasons for that. The account started at a very low deposit amount, right? It started at 2,444. So first of all, let's verify that this data on my FX book is actually pertaining to this trade account here. Again, easiest way to do that is come into the trade tab and we look at the balance, 5,553. 5,553 equity matches. We have all trades closed over the weekend. Then let's have a look at the profit. If we come to profit, $3,113. And deposit amount, 2,444. Probably a little bit harder to do because there was several deposits made. 1, 2, there. There's your deposit amount. That verifies the total amount deposited. This is a demo account, so just bear that in mind because this is high risk trading. And we're going to go over to...
Okay, so Jono just got finished telling us how this guy is so risk averse. And now he's saying how risky this is. Something is not computing here. Also, it's going to drive me absolutely buggy until I figure out who this guy is. He doesn't have to be explaining all these details for a sales video. I guess he can, but he's not doing it very clearly. He obviously knows what he's talking about, but he's throwing around so much jargon that basically people watching this, I have to stare at the screen and really pay attention to follow what he's doing. People that aren't used to this, they wouldn't have one sweet clue. And that is on purpose. So you're just figuring, oh, wow, well, at least he knows what he's talking about. Look at all the big words. So, okay, I guess he's good for me to give my money to, right? Yeah, right.
Reasons why. So now that we verify the account, we can also see the equity curve and we had some instability here. But having said that, we had most of the growth in here. So let's just scroll back down and we're in percentage format. So let's scroll down to the bottom and go over the months. Again, we can verify October 31.87%, 31.85%, September 24.18, 24.46. Remember, there are days when you pay triple swaps on Wednesdays, just inherent. Sometimes the MyFX book doesn't correctly update that. Commission fees also 7.99%, 7.8%, 21%, 14%, 21%, 14%. So you can see just by looking at this, it corresponds to that data. People can actually click on here to see more data on there. Now, scrolling back up, if someone does question when they come over to the drawdown tab, I'm going to give you a really good example as to why this growth increased exponentially. Is the drawdown is very heavy at 30% drawdown. When you're dealing with a deposit amount of 2,444 and you want to grow the account at that level, you need some level of risk and taking up as much of that leverage on the account. And in order to do that, you're going to put deposit load or load on the margin of the account during that. So that's going to increase. But over time, as the balance increases, let me try and mark this up like this. As the balance will increase and goes up, right? The balance increases. That risk taking on here is a lot more aggressive. But if I maintain the same level as risk that I did in the first 1 and 2 quarters of the year, that risk will inherently drop. That negative drawdown will drop, maintaining the same risk, but then the rewards can grow quite aggressively. And that's what's happened here. And that just takes a little bit of skill, right? I wouldn't recommend anybody doing this, putting that kind of deposit load on there. So that's not the level of risk we're going to be doing on the account. But doesn't mean we're, you can see at a $5,000 account now, right? Because we've come over to deposit $5,500, where in September, for example, if we come into growth, balance, and in September, we're at $4,000 in September, and our drawdown at $4,000 in September is 10%. This is where the region we need to be in, right? So at $5,000, because we're coming to profit about here, $5,000 in October the 15th, October, we have 0.5% drawdown. So this is where we need to, we've got a 3% drawdown here. So that's where we want to be within that 5% drawdown risk. And we're still delivering, even at that 5% drawdown level, you're still delivering a 31% return on the account. So it just goes to show having enough capital in the account. So you might, I don't know if you want to include that technical stuff or just show that it is verified, but that explains why the drawdown is at 30%. And why that drops. There's an equilibrium point between the balance and the amount you're risking to achieve that. And that takes a little bit of finesse. Anyway.
All right, so that was a load of geeky stuff that went completely over my head, and I'm sure it probably went over your head as well, unless you are into trading and you're into fund management and you understand all of that stuff. The good news is you don't actually need to understand any of that. The point of me showing you Edward's video right there is so that you can click on the link down below and you can go ahead and you can verify the numbers that Edward was actually talking about in the balances. So you can actually go and see MyFX Book. This is a platform that is built for transparency on trading. So if you are looking to investigate a certain trader or a manager or something like that, MyFX Book is completely transparent. There's no way that you can actually go and fudge any of these numbers. So that was the main point of this video. But as you can see, the other thing that Edward was talking about is that a lot of his months weren't at just 5% a month. In fact, most of them were well over 15, 20%. So when I say 5% is what we're aiming for, that is kind of the benchmark. But a lot of the months are going to be well over 5%, which is actually really encouraging and quite exciting as well. So Edward will trade his account as he does anyway on a daily basis. The only difference is that every trade that he places into his account will be copied instantly into your account. So at this point, there's literally nothing for you to do, literally nothing, except go about your daily life. Now, you still have access to your account and you can log in at any time and you can check the profits and you can make withdrawals at any time that you want. Although we do recommend that you limit the withdrawals to once per month. Now, my friend and I have been testing this for the past almost 8 to 9 months. And we've made an average of around 6% per month, which translates to $1,000 profit, even after the 30% profit split has been deducted from the company. Now, the best part is that the funding company has packages all the way up to $500,000 in available funds. Now, if we do the maths on that, 6% per month of 500,000 is $30,000 profit per month. And you can open up as many of these accounts as you want. But those packages will open later next year after this has been thoroughly beta tested with $25,000 accounts first. Now, we've also got Emily, who's one of Edward's friends, who plugged into his account and made over $2,000 in her first 30 days. You can see she actually made $2,168. And we've also got Jeremy here, who made over $2,600 in his first 30 days, doing literally absolutely nothing. All he did was just plug his account into Edward's, and they both sat back and made some pretty decent money, as you can see. Now, as you can see from both Emily and Jeremy, they both exceeded the 6% per month or $1,000 profit estimation. And this is actually quite normal, but I'd rather under-promise and over-deliver. So we've expanded Insignia with a back-end custom onboarding software so that we can later on, when we launch this to general public, we can manage this at scale. And this software is what we really need to be beta tested, right? So right now, I need beta testers to battle test our custom onboarding software and make sure that everything is bulletproof for when I launch this to the public in January. So as a beta tester, what do you need to do? Well, there's actually not that much. First of all, you need to access the membership portal and you need to go and watch one video. There's actually only one video in there, which shows you how to set up your account so that you can access your $25,000 in funds from the company money. And that video is less than 10 minutes long, and the actual account setup is less than 10 minutes, right? The second thing that you need to do is use our custom onboarding software to send your account details over to Edward. So we need to make sure that this is all working well. The third thing that you need to do is simply give us feedback on the whole process and submit a testimonial video to us by November the 25th, which is around a month from now, right? And that's it. Pretty easy and painless, right? Now, I'm sure you can...
Oh, so many problems. So there's those two testimonials there. Well, we've seen him do fake testimonials time and time again when it was with Infinity and Aurora. And he was showing testimonials from ages ago, from time periods that were way outside of what he was even talking about. And again, if he was making that good of money, why doesn't he just have a pile of accounts set up for himself and he could be sitting with his feet up, not having to do a damn thing? Fact of the matter is, he's not making that money. That fancy membership portal that he's talking about, that's just a web portal. It's easy. I mean, I've seen so many of his things, and if all he's saying is he's got one simple video in there, and then off you go and set this up, well, then that's the simplest web portal at all, and he doesn't need to set up anything fancy before he opens the door and invites people in. Trust me, he may be saying, well, right now he's saying 20, but if you go further along in the video, he says it's 30. You know, did I misstate that? Oh, well, it's 30 now. Okay, whatever. He's going to open it to however many suckers he can get to buy the system. So I'm going to tell you what the actual next steps are. The actual next steps is you're going to have to buy this system for $1,000. Now, that's down from his usual $2,500. Now, he is saying it's going to be $2,500, but you're getting $1,500 off this one special time, and it's going to be $9.99. Yeah, right. And I'm sure when he opens it back up again in December, if he does, it'll be back down to this discounted price too. So you're going to have to pay for this upfront, which is $1,000, and then for your $25,000 account, you're going to have to pay $1,600. So that's going to be a total outlay right at the beginning of $2,600. He makes it sound like it's so cheap to enter into, but it's not. And then for that, he says you're guaranteed to have $1,000 per month coming in. Well, so far, his last two systems, his last three systems, if you want to count the whole sports betting thing, all failed. Everybody lost their money. Nobody got any of it back. Now it seems like he's got somebody on side to manage this whole copy trading thing. But do they really think that the prop firm won't catch on to, even if it's only 20 or 30 people all putting in the same trades? You think they're not going to catch on? These guys are experts at finding crap like this because this is considered leakage for them. They don't want it. And they will plug those holes anytime they can. But apparently Jono and whoever this other guy is figures they can do it. So this VSL does go on for a fair bit longer, but I think we'll just wrap it up here because you got the gold nuggets here of how this has changed now from Infinity and Aurora to now we've got somebody just managing it all for them. That's crazy. Oh, and then he did this with Aurora too, but then he never implemented what I haven't got to on this video, but I could just tell you quickly here is he's going to try to build in a $67 a month fee for this for like managing it, which if it worked would be nothing, but I mean it's never worked, so we'll see. And then so he's saying that if you sign up now, you'll only have to pay $17 a month for that. So whatever. I mean, if there was a real human being actually doing this, then $67 a month would be cheap. If there's not, and he's got some doughhead that doesn't know what they're doing, then it's not going to be worth it. But I guess we shall see on this one, eh? But don't believe that just because he's got my FX book there quoted and you can click on it and see a bot working, it doesn't mean it's the bot that's going to be working for you. It doesn't mean that that bot's settings are going to be the same as the one that's working for you. I am not confident that this is going to work at all. So what do you all think? Oh, he keeps trying. These guys all keep trying to make it more done for you, more so you don't have to do anything, and that it's always going to work blindly for you, which is what everybody wants. And that's why everybody gets sucked into it, and it never seems to work. So, if you end up buying this thing and you want to tell me how it goes, please get a hold of me. My Telegram contact information is in the description at the very bottom, so you know it is me and not some weirdo in the comments. Oh, and if you get me in the comments and ask me how to get a hold of me, I'll refer you to my description where my Telegram address is. Oh, goodness. So what do you all think of this? Just gets more and more interesting, doesn't it? Well, I'm all done, and I hope you're doing great. I'm sorry this took an extra night to get out. I just didn't have it in me to do it all in one go. So you all take care, and Darlene out.